Hey everybody, Abby here from the Red Velvet group again. For this video, I want to talk about the relation of our idea to work and or life. So, in my opinion, this whole setup for the Magic School Bus is all about being related to life. Um, there are schools that are doing not specifically bus things, but taking a more authentic to the learner approach or doing more things out in the community, having the lessons be a lot more free, I would say. And in those cases, they have been quite successful. I'll put some links in below where you can see that. In my model specifically, there are many aspects that relate to the workplace or to life in general. Number one being that it's a bus. So it is out in the community, it's going around, it's having different interactions with people. Um, Part of my idea was having lunch at different local restaurants throughout the week. And I think that that is another key factor that relates to work or life. They're getting exposure to different people in the community, not only, but also how restaurants work. How does this work? How do I function in this setting? So I think that's pretty cool. Making the curriculum as authentic and project based as possible so that the students are really all the learning that's being done is really related to the students, really what the student wants, um, and then tying it all back into how it's going to help later on in life. It is ubiquitous, which which is anywhere, anytime learning. Um, and I think that this is important because I think that is the future of learning. Um, Being out and about and making new knowledge together with different people, not always just the people that are in your class. Um, and then all the different technologies. We use technology is a part of our lives. There's no getting around that. It is incorporated into pretty much everything we do. When you go to the workplace, most likely you're going to have to utilize a computer or something electronic. So by incorporating these technologies into the classroom, they're getting very early exposure and will be ready when it comes to the workplace and using these technologies. Included with the technology, my language learning component, I think is super duper important, and I think that that would be so relatable in life. Having before I had mentioned with the Google Glasses and the earpiece, having that support, either you're an English speaker and you're learning a new language, so you have that support here and here, you're going throughout your regular life, but you see the other languages words in the glasses or through the earpiece, so that really you're just incorporating that into your daily life. So when you see something, I see the apple, but in my head, because I've been exposed to it so much, um, I'm going to see apple, manzana, something like that. And I also think with the technology, it's going to give people the exposure to others, so to other cultures, to other um, languages again, but really, I think the biggest piece of that is the um, exposure to different cultures. Because a lot of times, especially in smaller towns, there's not a whole lot of diversity. So by having something like this technology where you could connect with other classrooms, not only within like your state, but you could connect with people across the United States and in other countries. So like the Microsoft video that we watched in class about different AR things, they connected, I think it was a class in India, um, to the class that was either here in America or something like that, but they connected, and there was so much interaction going on, and I think this would definitely help in the future when you're working with different people, because sometimes there's some biases and other things that come along when you haven't had that exposure or that interaction with people that are different from you. And then the teamwork and collaboration is really important as well. I think that that's a really huge part of being an adult and working. And if everybody is really super individualized and I have to do super duper well on this test or whatever, in this setting, everybody is working together and you're learning new things together, you're contributing your own knowledge, and I think that that's really important and is really important for the future of everybody. And then the standards-based grading. I think that that really relates to the workplace because most things are based on standards. Not only like personal work performance, but sometimes like with accreditations and all that kind of thing, there's standards that people have to meet. So by having that from an early age, these are the standards, this is what you need to do to meet these standards. These are the skills that we need to develop to do that. I think that that's really related to the future in the workplace. In my last video, I mentioned that that's kind of how our evaluation system is at my workplace. There's standards, and you have to meet or exceed those standards. And if you don't, then there are consequences to that. So I think by having something like having standards-based grading throughout the younger school years, that prepares you for the real life. Overall, our Magic School Bus idea is extremely relatable to the real world and to the workplace. I see it as a place to grow and develop skills and knowledge that is transferable to the real world, not knowledge or skills that are going to become obsolete when they get out of school. I think the Magic School Bus idea encompasses the thought of lifelong learning and transitioning from one learning context to the next very easily, going from the grade school, middle school, transitioning to high school, transitioning to college, transitioning to the workplace. We're always learning, and I think that this setup really encompasses the spirit of lifelong learning. So thank you so much for watching this video.